Stop budgeting. Seriously. If you're still tracking every single coffee and subscription, you're not building wealth. You're just managing your poverty. That's why 80% of people who start a budget fail within the first 60 days. This comparison illustrates the difference in daily effort. On the left, you see the mental friction of manual tracking. On the right, we see the simplicity of automated wealth building, a system that functions autonomously. The anti-budget replaces that friction with a system that requires only a single 15-minute setup to permanently manage your cash flow. To prepare your setup, open your banking interface and locate your exact monthly take-home pay. You need that number before we move forward. Managing money shouldn't require daily discipline. Financial freedom relies on invisible systems that work in the background, not constant willpower. First, we calculate your numbers. Multiply your take-home pay by 0.20 to find your 20% investment target. Then list your survival bills, your rent, utilities, and insurance. If 20% feels impossible right now, lower the target to 5%. The habit of automation is mathematically more important than the initial amount. You can scale up later once the system is proven. Now, open your checking account and set up a recurring transfer. Input your investment target into the amount field and select your investment account as the destination. Timing is the most critical variable. Schedule this transfer to trigger on the exact day your paycheck arrives, or at most 24 hours later. For those with fluctuating incomes, look at your lowest earning month from the past year. Base your automated percentage on that minimum baseline to ensure the transfer always clears. Confirming this single automated transfer removes human error from the equation. Wealth building becomes a passive reality that persists regardless of your daily attention. This automated pipeline shows the hierarchy of your cash flow. It dictates exactly how your money moves the moment it enters your account. The first stage of the pipeline intercepts the flow for investments. This ensures the money is moved into your future before it can be spent on anything else. Next, set up autopay for your fixed bills to trigger in the days following payday. This fills the second bucket and secures your survival baseline automatically. Everything that remains after the first two priorities are satisfied enters the zero guilt zone. Because your critical outflows are handled, every dollar sitting in your checking account is yours to spend. You can make impulse purchases without checking a ledger because the work is already done. Financial peace is achieved by guaranteeing your obligations are funded before you ever see the balance. By automating your cash flow, you've cleared the mental bandwidth typically consumed by manual expense tracking. Use that reclaimed energy to focus on a high-leverage goal, finding a way to raise your monthly income floor by $500. This chart shows why we shift our focus. Frugality has a mathematical limit. You can only save until you hit zero. Earning, however, has no ceiling. It is more efficient to earn more than it is to try and save your way to freedom. You now have a complete system, an automated wealth engine, autopilot survival bills, and a checking account balance that requires no restriction. This 15-minute setup creates a system that executes flawlessly in the background for a lifetime, building your net worth while you sleep. True wealth is measured in reclaimed time. Use the checklist in the description to verify your setup, and let me know in the comments how this changes your perspective on your bank account.